Hey, Edmund Pelgan, and it's Monday, and that means it's time for Tool of the Week, a weekly video series where I review interesting and useful SEO and content marketing tools. This week, we're talking Buzzsumo. So Buzzsumo is a content discovery tool. Basically, if you're in the business of marketing and promoting your business through content marketing, and you need to see what content is doing well in terms of getting social shares and links and activity in the market, you use a tool like Buzzsumo. And Buzzsumo is probably the leading tool in this space. It's picked up a lot of traction. A lot of bloggers and SEO practitioners write about the tool and use it on a daily basis. So today I'm going to step you through how to use the tool and what you could use it for. So basically, I'm going to log in. I've taken up a free trial account with the tool. It can get, depending on how much marketing or how much content you're analyzing, the investment I think is around $80 or $90 a month. In this case here, I've just logged in and I've gotten rid of the alert. So when you first log into the tool, you're presented with this display, and you can see there are three tabs, one on content research, one on influencers, and one on content alerts. Now, in this case, I'm going to be doing research around a specific topic to see what's being shared. So what you can do is under content research, under the most shared tab, simply enter the keyword. In this case, I'm going to put content marketing, and let's see what comes up. And you'll notice some of the options on the side there. You've got filter by date, which allows you to see what content was popular in the last 24 hours, in the last week, last month, 6 months, or year. In this case, I'm going to do the past year. I click search, and what you'll see now is you're presented with a list of articles based on the topic of content marketing. And in this case here, you'll see it's sorted by social shares. You've got metrics around Facebook shares, LinkedIn shares, Twitter shares, Pinterest, Google+, and total shares. And it's interesting because you see this post here on inbound.org, you can see it received a total of 97,000 shares. It's a very popular topic, confessions of a Google spammer. Now, you can scroll down and see the rest of the articles there, and you can sort by specific networks. Now, the interesting thing about this is that it gives you insight into, obviously, what is very popular, but also it's got the ability to give you insight into the backlinks too. So you can see who shared it, but from an SEO perspective, you want to know who has linked to the tool, a link to the content, and why this is important. Obviously, links are important for rankings, but in this case here, if I'm looking at creating a similar piece of content and I want to know who has shared or linked to the content before, I can come and click on View Backlinks, and that'll present me with a list of domains that have in fact linked to this piece of content before. So how is this useful? If I created a version of the content that was bigger, better, or slightly different, I could link to these people. I could reach out to these people and say, guys, I've created something similar, better, faster, higher, whatever it is, and create a scenario where through outreach, I can get them to link to my content. The next great feature on this page is the ability to sort by content type. So in this case here, if I was looking for just infographics around the topic of content marketing, I could simply untick these options here, click filter, and I'd be presented with content marketing infographics. So in this case here, you can see the first one is an infographic from Buffer app, the optimal length for every social media update. And it provides me with all of the social links, social shares, and links to obviously the backlink information. And why is this important? This allows me to see what specific content is doing well. And if I was to create a similar version, I could sort by the content type and see what was doing well, and then basically either, it'll give me some idea of what was getting social traction out there and links. The next feature around Buzzsumo that's quite popular is the Trending Now feature. So in this case here, you can look at a whole range of topics and it'll show you what is currently trending in the last up to 24 hours. And in this case here, if I was to add my own topic, I'll add content marketing, click add feed. And what this will do now is go and find content marketing content that has had some social action in the last 24 hours. And you can see these two pieces of content have done well in the last 24 hours. Another great feature is the content analysis feature. And in this case here, the content analysis feature allows you to analyze content for any term or a domain. So in this case, once again, content marketing, click enter. And what you'll see now is it's going to generate a series of graphs that are going to give you information around content marketing in this space. So in this case here, it's done a content analysis for content marketing, and it's analyzed 14,000 articles with a total of 9.4 million shares, an average of 659 shares per piece of content. Now, why is this content useful? So what this tells us is if you look at the average shares by network, it'll show you that content marketing content gets shared most on Twitter. And in this case here, this chart here tells you the average shares by content type. So you can see infographics in this space gets a lot of social traction. And it also breaks it down by specific network: Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+. If we scroll down further, you can see total shares by the date published. So what this tells me is that I'm not going to be publishing content marketing infographics on a Sunday or a Saturday because they get minimal social shares. Monday is the big day for me. If I scroll down further, I can see more information on the average shares by content length. And if you look at this, if you look at this chart, you'll see that content that is 2,000 to 3,000 words long gets the most social shares. More data, it tells you the top domains in all of the networks and the most shared domains by network. So this basically tells you who the big players in an industry are, whose content is getting shared the most, where it gets shared the most, when to publish it, how long to create the content. Pretty handy information, right? It's pretty awesome. The next feature in Buzzsumo that's very useful is the domain comparison. So in this case here, I'm going to compare Copyblogger and QuickSprout. Now, these two domains are very popular, powerful domains in the space of content marketing. And the information that you saw previously on the content analysis page is now presented for each of these domains. And you can see Copyblogger has 813 articles analyzed, QuickSprout has 202. And now you can look at the information by domain and compare them, and you can further get some insight into which of these domains is doing better. So in this case here, average shares by network, you can see both very popular on Twitter, average shares by content type. You can see that QuickSprout publishes a different type of content to Copyblogger, or the content that gets shared. Copyblogger's infographic information gets a lot of social action. Once again, total shares by date published, it's no surprise there. But what you can see from this is QuickSprout typically only publishes on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, whereas Copyblogger publishes during the week and not on weekends at all. Content length, once again, Copyblogger 2,000 to 3,000 words. On Neil Patel's QuickSprout, it's 0 to 1,000 words. 10,000 words. Goodness, look at the size the content shares around that content length. So that's really insightful information, quite helpful. The other cool feature is a look at top authors. And in this case here, you can enter information to see what authors are generating the most social action and links. But in this case here, that's an agency feature. The next step, click on influencers. In influencers, if we just insert the keyword and search for that keyword, it'll find influencers in that space around that keyword that you search for. So in this case, content marketing, of course, Joe Pulizzi, who's an established content marketer, is the most influential person in this space. And you can see it basically gives you information on the domain authority of their domain, how many social media followers they've got, the retweet ratio, the reply ratio. So it gives you a sense of who the players are in this space, the audience size, whether they're truly engaged with their audiences. Very powerful information. And that's it. That's Buzzsumo. So very powerful content discovery and analysis tool. Helps you figure out what content's getting shared, on what networks, how long to write the content, what types of content. A very good tool. If you're doing a lot of content marketing, a lot of content creation for your business or your brand, it's probably worth having in your kit bag. And if not, there is a free account that gives you limited information. And for the casual user, the free account is probably good enough because it'll give you the top 10 to 20 most popular pieces of content based around a specific keyword, and that's probably enough to get you started. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel or sign up to my newsletter, and I look forward to doing more of them for you. Thanks.